What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Cook and Brass YouTube channel, where today we'll be going over my Palmetto State Armory SPR build. First things first, as we start, there are no rounds in the chamber. The gun is fully clear, no mag, nothing. So today we'll be taking it from tip to butt on this build. On the very tip, we have a Break Arms muzzle brake. As you can tell, the muzzle brake has threads onto it for if you're training at the range or if you're out shooting with buddies, you don't blow their ears off. If you've ever shot with a muzzle brake before, you will know that they make the gun so much louder where they're dispersing the gases. So Break Arms also sells this flash can that you just thread on top of there, and what it does is instead of shooting the gases off to the side, it diverts the gas out. A very cool product. I've got the Break Arms thread capable muzzle devices on all of my guns, all of them except for my Bear Creek. Coming back behind the muzzle device, you have a carbine length 16-inch chrome molybdenum with a nitride coating on it. It is a 1-to-7 twist. Above that, you have a Monstrum tactical handguard. It's a very solid, very beefy handguard that has 4 sections of 1913 rail on it. Highly recommend it. Under here, you've got a handguard cover right there that also came with this handguard. On this end, I just have a cheap CV Life bipod. It's spring loaded to where you're able to get all different kinds of heights with it. It's got different adjustments for it. For the price, I think it's very solid. With this, I have it paired with a quick detach from Monstrum Tactical. That way, if I want to use it with any of my other rifle builds, I can. Coming on top over here, I think it's just a cheap budget Amazon light. I think it's a Fiachi, if I'm correct. It's a solid flashlight for the price. On most of my lights, I do just run a tail switch. That way, if something happens and we're out in the dark with a rifle for some reason, you don't AD with the pressure pad. So I've just got it to where you just tip it over and you have a solid purchase with that, and you're able to turn your light on. Coming back on that, I have a 1913 compatible Magpul MOE grip, vertical grip. I don't ever grip them as what they're probably intended to be. I always use a modified C-clamp while shooting, and I think it does very well. Where some of the 1913 it can be a little bit more aggressive of a cut, went ahead and put some cheap guards on it to help with the rigidness of it. On this side, I have a QD slot for my sling as well. It is free spinning, so you don't ever have to worry about adjusting it to what you like. Coming back here, underneath the handguard, I've also got a Monstrum Tactical bail nut holding the rail and everything on. We have a lock nut right there that keeps the barrel in place, and I've had very solid lockup with it. It's rock set. I don't think there's anything that'll really mess with it, and just in case, I've went ahead and put reference marks on all the bolts in there to make sure that nothing moves, nothing's coming loose on me. I just check it after every range day. Coming back after this, you have a mil-spec lower and a mil-spec upper by Palmetto State Armory. The upper receiver is made of forged 7075 T6 aluminum, as well as the lower. It is also that. Inside the upper receiver, you have a Palmetto State Armory bolt carrier group. The bolt is made of Carpenter 158 steel, and it is full auto rated. The gas key is hardened to USGI specifications, and it is fastened with grade 8 screws, and they are also staked to mil-spec specifications. Bolt carrier is also chrome lined and phosphate coated. Behind that, I have a Palmetto State Armory ambidextrous charging handle. That way you're able to pull it from either side and charge the gun. The rifle also comes with a mil-spec trigger, a mil-spec trigger guard, mil-spec mag release, and a mil-spec bolt catch and bolt release. One of the things in which I've upgraded on this rifle, other than the charging handle, is also an ambidextrous safety. I have this same safety on all of my ARs. I think it's a cheap CMNG or just one of the cheaper ambidextrous safeties that you're able to find on Primary Arms, Palmetto, or AK3 Tactical. Coming back behind that, you have a 6-position buffer tube, mil-spec, from Palmetto State. They also have a staked castle nut, which is very good that you're getting that for the price in which you're paying for these rifles. Not a lot of companies stake their castle nuts until you get to the higher tier rifles, but Palmetto does on all of their rifles, which I've seen, and I'm very happy about that. It has a mil-spec buffer spring in here as well as a buffer. It is very quiet compared to a lot of the budget ARs that have louder springs, just like my Bear Creek Arsenal that I'll talk about in that video. It is very loud buffer spring, but with this one it is very quiet. Back on this 6-position buffer tube, I have a B5 Systems buttstock. Highly recommend B5 stuff as well. Coming down, I have a Magpul MOE grip that I've got wrapped in some tape to give a little bit more of texture to the grip. And in here, it also has storage within the grip that I really like. And in there, I just carry an extra battery for this light. Coming on top of here, I have a Monstrum 126 LPVO. It is the Monstrum Layden. Very good. You have a quick throw. I wouldn't call it a lever, but you have a quick throw right here. You have screw caps for the windage and the elevation. You also have a red and green illuminated reticle in here. That reticle is also etched within the scope. The rifle comes with protective flip-up caps. And this scope I also have on the Monstrum riser as well that comes with the rifle. Overall, this is one of my very favorite builds that I have. This rifle has become one of my very favorite rifles. It is near and dear to my heart, whereas the first rifle that I've ever bought, it was just a regular mil-spec AR that came with the gray heat shield handguards with the drop-in and the mil-spec grip and buttstock, which I went ahead and changed almost everything other than the upper and lower assembly with it. From, I'd say, the barrel nut out, I've changed pretty much everything with it. The only thing I will say is that if you have the drop-in option, either use the drop-in rails, or some other companies offer to where they go on top or on the bottom, and there's a small steel part where the front fixed front sight is that is made of some sort of steel. If it is not a hardened steel, it will bend, and that is what happened in my case, is that my handguard, instead of sitting level, it sat and it was kicked up like this. So that is ultimately what made me go to a free float handguard on this rifle, which I don't regret it. I was able to get a very good deal off of Monstrum Tactical. I think for the money, if you're doing budget builds or if you're just trying to get a cheap part to see if you like that specific thing or not, I think Monstrum is a very good place to go and buy different parts. I've also got their armorer's blocks. I've got their armorer's wrench for when I do work on ARs. As I've said before, I've got their lights, their sights, the different parts, whether it be a riser, a quick attach, or just small little trinkets. Monstrum makes a very solid product. They are not USA made, but for the price that you're paying, it is what it is. This rifle, I specifically have it built out to be able to reach to that 300-400 yard to even 6 to 8 with this. I'm not 100% sure what the limitations on that scope is when it comes to reaching out. I haven't really reached out any further than a couple hundred yards with it. So I'm hoping to get it out and really stretch out and see what the LPVO can do on this rifle, and to see what the rifle itself is able to do. Many people think that when you are making a SPR or a DMR rifle that you have to steer away from the 5.56 chambering, but there's many videos out there that prove that the 5.56 round is very capable for reaching out well over 500 yards. And so that's what it is. I don't plan on having to get out and reach out and punch to 700, 800, 900 yards. Where we're in the mountains here, you know, you're not going to be having to ever do anything that far, in my opinion. I've also got it. I think it's a very comfortable rifle to run like up close if you need to. I'm not saying at all that it is a CQB style rifle, not by any means. It's very big. It's a heavy gun overall, but I think for a do-it-all or a specialty purpose rifle, I think it's a very solid build. The Palmetto honestly knocked that out of the park here. It has a carbine length gas system in it, but when it comes to shooting it with all the rest of them, I don't really feel it. I don't feel the extra recoil or the added recoil onto it compared to my mid-length gas systems. I think it's a very solid product. A lot of people, they'll bash Palmetto State Armory. You'll have the haters out there, and then you'll have the fanboys out there. I guess you could put me, I don't want to call myself a fanboy, but they make a very good product for the money. I have this 16-inch build, and I also have an 11.5 build that'll be coming up in a later video. But yeah, it's a very solid rifle for what it is. Palmetto State Armory makes very solid products. We will have more builds coming from them in the future. By no means am I sponsored by Palmetto State Armory. Nothing was sent to me, nothing was given to me. All these rifles were put together with my own money, and all the ammo is with my own money. I don't have any kind of sponsorships or affiliations with any kind of company. I just go out, I try to find different things in which I like and will cater to my uses for them, as well as what I think that you all will find useful out in the real world. Do not ever count out Palmetto State Armory. They make anything from the budget ARs to where you're getting an entry level from $300 to where you can go and get into their saber line. They now have sabers with cold hammer forged barrels, fully put together with Geisley handguards that are up in the 1,000. I mean, but you pay for what you get as far as the quality goes. But I can say that their QC on these rifles and which I've got must have been very good. I think they've definitely stepped it up over the years. I'm very happy and content with this AR. I can't wait to get out to the range and show you all what this AR is capable of as far as groupings and being able to move with it. If you ended up liking this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment what kind of Palmetto State Armory build in which you would like to see later down the road, or if there's a good experience if you've had with Palmetto, if there's a bad experience, go ahead and drop it down. If you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you for sticking me out, and I honestly hope you have a blessed day.